Hello and welcome to Studio 122. I'm your host, Lauren Hogan, and we are here with Dwayne Allen and Anthony Medina from the Westside Barber Shop. Thank you guys for being here.
No problem, enjoy it.
Right. So tell me a little bit about your shop to begin, or tell me a little bit about yourself, actually, to begin with.
You're Tony, ain't you?
I'm Tony, and that's Dwayne, and we're cousins. My uncle, which is his dad, talked us both into doing this, and we've been stuck in it ever since.
So is it a family shop?
It is now.
Yeah, for 2 generations.
Okay. We are going to go into a report from Jesus Flores to learn a little bit more about the shop.
Besides the barber's pole and the obvious sign that says barbershop, nothing says barber quite like a barbershop quartet. In this Commerce Close-Up, we're going inside the West Side Barbershop to meet the barbers that make it happen, Mr. Dwayne Allen and Mr. Anthony Medina. Now the word barber comes from the Latin word barba, which means beard, and it may surprise you to know that the earliest records show barbers as being the foremost men within their community. In fact, they were physician's assistants who mastered in the art of bloodletting, which was a popular way of curing ills. The modern barber pole originated in the days of bloodletting, which was one of the principal duties of a barber. The 2 spiral ribbons painted around the pole represent 2 long bandages, one twisted around the arm before bleeding and the other one used to bind afterwards. But since that day, barbers have become more than just that. They've become friends, confidants, and of course, masters of barbering. And as you can tell, we're getting ready to shut down here. It's cleanup time, so back to you in the studio where we get to meet the barbers of the West Side Barbershop.
All right. So, Dwayne, let's start with you. How long have you been a barber?
Going on about 14 years.
Yeah. And Anthony?
15.
15? How are you enjoying it?
I worked for the best and worst boss I ever had.
And who is your boss?
Me.
You. Love-hate relationship. How do you enjoy him being your boss?
Actually, we're partners.
Oh, so two bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's boss of half the shop, my boss the other half.
Ah, okay. So let's see what the customers have to say about you all's shop.
The haircuts are great. The friendship is awesome. I've known these guys forever, so come in just to enjoy their company most of the time.
It's good haircuts, cheap. Those guys. Entertainment, up to date, political commentary.
I think this is my second time over here. Yeah, I like it. They are really good, and they are really, having a good friendship. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's obvious from watching the tape that you two do a lot more than just cutting hair. What do you do to entertain your customers?
Well, there's just 2 of us in the shop, and there's room for 15, 18 people to be waiting, plus 2 in each chair. When there's just 2 people cutting hair, you don't want people to really realize just how long they've been waiting. Mm-hmm. So we've developed what our customers have nicknamed the floor show, where I'll start a joke, he'll hit the punchline, or vice versa, and we never stop cutting hair. And we've memorized every joke every customer has ever brought us that is repeatable in mixed company.
Yeah. So it's like a barbershop / comedy show.
Yeah.
Basically.
Haircut's $11, floor show's free.
Nice. So you don't charge for any laughs. Laughter is free. Laughter should always be free. Anthony, how do you deal with a customer who sits down in the chair and is like, I don't know what I want? What do you do when that happens?
Well, we don't really have books
Okay.
to look through, so What we do is we ask them what they want to look like when they're finished.
Mm-hmm.
Turn around and look in the mirror, and what do you want to look like? And they'll tell us what they want to look like after 14 years. It's pretty easy to get there.
Yeah. And how do you deal with someone who gets a haircut and they look in the mirror and they're like, I don't like it? What do you do when that happens?
Well, honestly, I've never had one say they didn't like it, and they may have something that they want, didn't come out exactly like they want, and we'll fix it. And I just always tell them, just remember what you didn't like about this haircut, and we'll change it next time. And it's very rare that we do one that customer turns around and they've got that, what'd you do to my hair? So.
Just can't really put it back on once it's off.
No, I can take it off, only you can put it back.
Right, okay. What made you to want to become barbers?
Well, my dad was a barber, my mom was a beautician. I blew my knee out in a work injury and going through rehab, and Dad was a barber, and I went to barber school, and it was just something, it just sort of came about.
Yeah.
Actually, I just got through doing a lot of work in the mission field and got back from Barbados, and I was looking for a job, and my uncle needed a barber, so he taught me into going to barber school. So I never thought about being a barber up until that point.
Okay, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about being barbers?
Well, I think for the most part we're both like people persons, and it's just dealing with all the different varieties of people. You get all kinds of conversations and topics started, and frankly, I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, we're full of it, and it's just, it just comes in handy because you have all these different customers who want to talk about all these different things, and it's just talking and dealing with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you work for yourself, so that says a lot. Nobody else but him will work with me, and nobody else will keep me on long enough, so I got to work for myself.
What's the hardest thing about being a barber?
Working for yourself.
Working for yourself, worst and best boss you'll ever have.
Yeah, I bet. So you touched a little bit about the cost of a haircut is $11.99?
It's $11.
$11.
$2 discount for seniors, so $9. And
Okay.
yeah.
Do the students on campus get any discounts? Just seniors?
Just seniors, really. We've had a deal with the college football program here that every time they get a win, between that win and the next game, they get a free haircut, and we've done that for decades.
And that's, everybody involved in the program, from the trainers to the the coaches, the kids, cheerleaders, just whatever.
And tell me where you guys are located.
We're at 1233 Washington Street down on the square.
There is a square here in town.
Yes, downtown Commerce. Well, thank you, Dwayne and Anthony, for being here on Studio 122, and we will be right back.